Imagine waking up one morning and discovering you have another head, not beside you, not behind you, attached to your own body. Now imagine that both heads have different personalities, different instincts, and sometimes they actually fight each other. It sounds like something from a horror movie, but this animal is completely real. And before this video ends, you'll see why scientists say a two-headed snake has almost no chance of surviving in the wild. Yet a few have lived for years, leaving researchers stunned. The biggest surprise is not that they exist, it's how they stay alive. Let's begin. Every year, millions of snakes hatch across the world. Almost every one of them is perfectly normal. But once in an incredibly rare while, nature makes what looks like an impossible mistake. A snake hatches with two fully formed heads sharing one body. This condition is called bicephaly. It happens when identical twins begin developing inside the egg, but fail to separate completely before birth. Instead of becoming two snakes, they become one. At first glance, it might seem like having two heads is an advantage. Twice the eyes, twice the tongues, twice the brains, twice the awareness. But reality is far more tragic. Because this snake doesn't have one mind. It has two. Each head has its own brain. Each brain can make its own decisions. And that's where the nightmare begins. Sometimes one head wants to crawl left. The other wants to crawl right. The body freezes. Neither side wins. Imagine trying to escape a predator while your own head is arguing with itself. And that's only the beginning. Because feeding is even worse. Both heads can become hungry at the same time. Both heads see the same prey. And instead of working together, they sometimes attack each other. Yes, there are documented cases where one head mistakes the other for food and bites it. Imagine fighting your own mouth over dinner. That single mistake can cause serious injuries or even death. So here's the question. If survival is this difficult, how do any two-headed snakes live long enough for us to even study them? The answer is both fascinating and heartbreaking. In the wild, very few survive. A normal snake relies on speed, camouflage, and precise movement. A two-headed snake loses much of that advantage. It moves more slowly. It hesitates. It struggles to hide. And predators quickly notice. Birds of prey, foxes, wildcats, even larger snakes. For them, a confused snake is an easy meal. That's why scientists believe most two-headed snakes die shortly after hatching. Many are never even seen by humans. Only a tiny number are found alive. Most of the famous ones survive because people rescue them and care for them in captivity. Even then, keeping them alive isn't simple. Handlers often have to guide each head during feeding. Sometimes they distract one head while the other eats. Sometimes each head must be fed separately to stop them from competing. Imagine needing two feeding strategies for one animal. But here's something even stranger. Not every two-headed snake is built the same way. Some share one stomach. Others have separate throats that merge farther down the body. Some have one dominant head that controls most of the movement. Others constantly compete for control. Each snake is unique, which means scientists can't predict exactly how one will behave. Now here's something that surprises almost everyone. Which head is actually in charge? The answer is often neither. Researchers have observed some two-headed snakes where one head becomes more dominant over time. It reacts faster. It makes more decisions. It leads the body. The second head still sees, smells, and reacts, but has less influence over movement. It's almost like two drivers trying to steer the same car with only one steering wheel. Now imagine living like that every second of your life. There's another mystery. Can both heads feel pain? Yes, each head has its own brain and nervous system. If one head is touched, it reacts. If the other is touched, it reacts independently. But because they share one body, injuries affecting the shared organs can threaten both heads. Their lives are permanently connected. Neither can simply walk away. Nature has produced two-headed snakes in several species, including rat snakes, king snakes, and even venomous snakes. Although rare, these cases have been documented by zoologists and wildlife experts around the world. Every new discovery helps scientists better understand how embryos develop and what happens when development takes an unexpected turn. So, does a two-headed snake have any advantage at all? Surprisingly, yes. With two heads, it can sometimes notice danger from different directions. One head may detect food while the other watches for predators. But in reality, those advantages rarely outweigh the constant struggle to coordinate movement. It's like giving someone two brilliant pilots, but only one airplane. As amazing as these snakes are, they remind us of something important. Nature isn't perfect. Sometimes evolution produces extraordinary mistakes. Not monsters, not myths, just living creatures doing everything they can to survive against impossible odds. And perhaps that's what makes the two-headed snake so unforgettable. Not because it has two heads, but because every single day it has to overcome challenges that no ordinary snake will ever face. So the next time someone tells you nature has run out of surprises, remember the snake that spent its entire life arguing with itself. Because sometimes, the strangest stories on Earth aren't fiction. They're real. If you enjoyed discovering one of nature's rarest creatures, subscribe now because next time, we're exploring another unbelievable animal reality that seems impossible, but is completely real. And trust me, the next creature is even stranger than this one.